All right, so today I'd like to talk about cell tower land lease rates and what they are, what you can expect, and just different kinds of proposals that we're seeing here at Tower Genius. So um, if you're a property owner, you might receive a letter or you get a phone call or a knock on the door from a cell tower site acquisition consultant, and they're contacting you because they'd like to place a tower on the property and lease space for you from you. Typically, um, you know, average. I hate using the word average because some of these other folks on the internet use the average cell tower lease rate phrase, and I could just say commonly, frequently used price that's proposed for like a 100 by 100 plot of land plus, ingress, egress, access easements on and off the property are about $500 a month, primarily in rural areas. Now, if you're in a major metropolitan area, that they're not going to offer you $500, and if they do, I would send them send them packing. But $500 a month is very typical of what they offer you. You're not dealing directly with Verizon or Dish or Dish Network's a new carrier, by the way, or AT&T or T-Mobile. You're going to deal with a real estate site acquisition contractor, a consultant um, that is working for a developer, most likely working for a cell tower developer, a local cell tower company that has a build-to-suit program contract with with a small, medium, or large tower company to build a tower for Verizon, for AT&T, Sprint, and whatever. So they are not just knocking on your door by chance and throwing a dart on the map and saying, "Oh, let's build a tower here." That they have specific information. They are contacting you because there's a need in the area by a carrier for additional coverage or capacity, and they'll typically want to rent a 100 by 100 area now for ground lease. Now, if this is a guide wire tower, a guide tower is like like a circus tent. I can imagine the tower could be whatever 2, 3, 4, 500 feet tall, and they have three anchors in the ground. So they would lease space, probably in an area of a couple of acres, right? Because they have to spread those wires out and anchor them into the ground. So um, if you're approached for a cell tower, you want to ask, hey, is this a regular tower? Is it going to be a monopole, like a regular pole? Is it going to be a lattice tower on three legs, or is it a guide tower where they put the tower in the ground and then they anchor it with wires? So that's additional space is needed then, and that can be a challenge if you're a farmer and you have equipment there that you have to kind of maneuver around those anchors. That's sometimes a challenge. So now $500 a month, is that a good price? Heck no, it's not. It's not a good price, but it's if there's a lot of land available and there's a lot of competing sites available, and you have neighbors that would take that money, that might be what you end up getting. Now, certainly there's wiggle room with these cell tower land lease rates, but again, you're not dealing directly with Verizon. You're dealing with a developer that's in the middle of the deal. That is between you and the carrier. The carriers will typically pay a developer about $2,000 a month after that tower is built to place their antennas on that vertical real estate. And from those proceeds is where your rent payment comes from that anchor tenant. So they're not going to pay you $2,000 a month for a 50 by 50 or 100 by 100 ground lease area, uh, because that's roughly what they're getting, maybe even a little bit less. So that's where you get the 500, 600, 700, 800, 900,000 bucks a month. And it all depends on supply and demand. If there's a greater demand and a smaller supply of available properties or willing landlords or property owners, then you can get a better deal. Um, the best negotiation advice that I can give you is don't believe them that it's on a square foot price base. It's not a square foot base. It's on a site by site basis. The way these cell tower ground lease rates are calculated, um, and you definitely want to make sure that you don't sign a term sheet. They get you a lease agreement or an option. Don't start negotiating let them know that you're interested. If you are, have them provide you with a survey, have them put some stakes in the ground, get them out to the property, get them spending, investing time and money in your location. Get a contract, get them to provide you with a contract. So you want a lease agreement or an option lease or ground lease, whatever that document is, you'd like to see it because you're going to be married to that tower for the next 20, 30, 40, 50, forever years. So if they're going to encumber your property and they're offering you something, you want to see what are those terms. Don't sign any term sheets. Your handshake is enough. Your word is enough. Everything is negotiable until that thing is signed by both parties. But they want to pigeonhole you into a corner by signing a term sheet, and that's never a good idea. It never benefits the property owner. So get them to commit to your property. Get them to spend money at your location. Get a set of drawings. Get that survey. Get that contract in hand. And then if you have questions, clearly give us a call. We would love to help you and make sure that you're not leaving money on the table. And the idea here, when you're looking at these, cell tower land lease rates, you're probably not going to hit a home run on the, at the first at bat. Maybe you'll get on base with a single or a double. I use that baseball analogy a lot. But if you can get that deal structured properly, which means you want to get that revenue share, co-location built in there. It's not a topic that you want to bring up in that initial conversation. Oh yeah, but by the way, we want money from all these other tenants up there. They'll walk. You just don't want to scare them off. But certainly you need to get that built into the deal. And sometimes it's going to be impossible because they have so many other choices. Well, maybe you do get a lease for $500 or $1,000 a month on a tower on a 50 by 50 or 100 by 100 footprint. But maybe halfway down the road in year 12 or 15 or year 18, 20, you have the opportunity, or your heirs have the opportunity, to renegotiate that lease once there's a carrier or two up there and they're not going anywhere. And at that point, you can step up and get a more favorable deal. So it's my belief that some of these more rural sites in the flyover states that are not in a major metropolitan area have a very long longevity. These sites will be around for a long time. So if you have, if you can just look at the big picture and realize that maybe that cell tower land lease rate is not awesome in the get-go, but you are going to get that tower on your property, get that contract signed, get it done properly, get it structured right, and then look at it as, 10, 15 years down the road, you'll have a chance to most likely renegotiate that and extend that lease properly. And once that tower's up, you have a heck of a lot more leverage to negotiate a great deal and lease extension than you might have during the first round. Hopefully that helps, and thanks for watching the video. Give us a call at Tower Genius. Our number is 888-313-9750, or visit us at towergenius.com. Thank you.